chipmunk.
What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in on today's video. It's Gabe, and in today's episode of Behind the Buy, we are going to be taking a look at this 2023 Camaro 2SS. Now, if you're looking for a more comprehensive review of this car's performance, exterior, interior characteristics, as well as some interesting facts and some other opinions from other people, I strongly suggest that you watch my comprehensive in-depth review in the cards above or in the link in the description below, as this video is going to be tailored more towards understanding the owner's rationale and his current ownership experience with the car. That way you guys will have a better perspective and an owner's perspective of what it's like to own a 2023 Camaro 2SS. Without further ado, let's go ahead and meet the owner. That he is, bro.
Nice Uber, man.
What's up, Mikey? How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
So, Mikey, thank you for obviously doing this video with me, and go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about some of the cars you've had in the past prior to owning this beautiful Camaro.
So I was always into sports cars. Obviously my name's Michael, like you just know me, Mikey. And you know, before this car, I had a V6 Camaro 2015. Now, funny story, the interesting reason why I became a fan of Camaros, hopefully like many other people, is because of the 2008 movie, Transformers. 2007 Transformers, when Bumblebee came out with that new Camaro. That was the day that I fell in love.
So why stay with Camaro SS, or why stay with Camaro when there's so many other good options out there for the price range?
I guess that also correlates with my last answer. Camaro to me has always just been such an aesthetic beauty. Also, like the sound and the performance, it's always been that competitor against Mustangs.
Yep.
And personally, I have a brother that was in love with Mustangs, and I was like, you know what? I'm a Camaro guy. Chevy. We had Tahoes growing up. We had all kinds of Chevys. So to me, it was Camaro. It was Camaro or bust.
Yeah, sibling rivalry will do that to you.
yeah, man. Something about the Camaros.
So what about the Camaro SS trim level inspired you to buy the SS and not say like the LT1, for example?
So when I was already like looking at the upgrade, you know, towards a V8, because who doesn't want a V8, especially after all the comments you get on your Instagram of, oh, not a real muscle car. Whatever. The point is, once I got the V8, I was like, all right, if I'm gonna go SS, let me take it to the max. Let me get that 2SS package. I was researching. I was like, oh, let me see the difference between the LT1 and everything else. And I was just personally not a fan of the V6 body in a V8. I personally wanted, like, okay, this stands out from, you know, the rest. As you know, the V6 has its own fascia, which is different from the SS, which is different from the 01.
Right.
The LT1 shares that fascia, which I wasn't really a fan of. Nor do I really like the simplistic look in comparison to the 2SS. And, you know, I guess this trim.
So is the 2SS worth it?
To me, yes. The features that it comes with, especially this one, again, my favorite feature.
Yeah,
I'll never get over that.
The
feature.
rear view camera that's always on, not just when you're in reverse. That is pretty
always
cool.
On. To me, it is worth it because you're not looking at that much of a price difference between at least the base model SS versus the 2SS. The LT1's a different story, but for the 2SS, you know, with the Bose system is, let me tell you, fantastic. And you know, the sunroof and everything that I got with it, with the 2SS package, I think the sports modes and having the different modes, you know, be an option, is really fun.
So we got a nice stretch of road here. Let's hear that LT1 sing. Woo. It's still going. It's still going.
No, it'll keep going. Yeah, there it is.
So how long have you had this car for, and has it met or exceeded your expectations?
It's funny you say that because I've hopped in a couple, you know, my friends who have a 6th gen, and I've seen a bunch of 6th gens at the meets, and I've seen the interior and I've seen the car, and I was just like, And then once I like actually drove it and experienced the car for a while, I was like, okay, you know what? I now see why the price tag is the price tag, especially on this trim. It makes sense.
I'm gonna have to hit you out there. So the next question is gonna be, why did you end up choosing the 10-speed automatic versus the 6-speed manual transmission? Because I know somebody's going to definitely say something in the comment section below.
Well, so me personally, first off, living in Miami is the traffic, not doing manual. That's number one. Number two, I've never actually really learned completely how to drive a manual. So I've always been an automatic person.
You know, in my review, I talk about how great this transmission is for an American muscle car. It's pretty responsive when you shift with the paddles. I mean, it's a lot more engaging. It's the closest thing you're going to get, honestly. Now, but if we put it on D, that is a whole nother story. This thing is... It's so iconic when you hear an LT1 with the transmission, the auto transmission.
Right, and then that's where they have that performance shift, which I don't know if that's specific to the 2SS trim. I'm not sure if the base model has a performance shift, because I know they added that based on the track and the different modes.
Right.
So that performance shift thing, it really, like, that's responsive as far as...
So, give me 3 things that you absolutely love about the 6th generation Camaro 2SS.
3 things that I love. That's number 1. It'll always be number 1. Listen, I've been in, like, you know, a lot of Escalades and Cadillacs, and, like, you know, my favorite feature was always, wow, that's so cool. Like, you have a camera.
Introducing cameras to a Camaro is quite possibly the biggest blessing Camaro could have ever seen. At least 5th generation, because the 4th gen didn't have that problem. But the 5th, 6th, oh my gosh.
Visibility is, as everybody knows, not the best in this car. So adding that, number 1. Number 2.
Hold on, we got a little.
Oh, we have an underpass.
It sounds so good, dude.
It's just music, is what it is.
All right, sorry, I completely cut you off.
No, it's okay. Number 2, definitely the comfort. I'm not gonna lie. For having a sports muscle car, I think it's very comforting. As far as driving, I found myself being able to drive long distances and not have a problem. I really think that for this car, it's not a bad, you know, long distance kind of car. You have your Corvettes, you have your Mustangs. Those are very tight. I feel like I'm in a pod, and I feel like I can't sit there very long. Versus this one, you got the heated seats, the cooling seats.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. By the way, it's not a luxury car, and it's got those features. And I was like, well, man, awesome. This is great. I love this. So the comfort would be number 2. And then number 3, it's gotta be that exhaust tone. That exhaust tone, to me, it's just...
And then when you obviously rip it...
How do you not love that sound?
The LT1, the 6.2 liter V8 and the LT1, it's just so unique. It's such a refined sound that it's just, you don't get that with other muscle cars. I mean, I prefer the LS3 because that's very deep, it's very throaty, it's very muscle car, but this is just like a new age type of sound, and it's very,
a modern muscle car, like muscle car, if I could give it, you know, a term. Which is what I like.
Now, in contrast, what are things that you hate about the Camaro? 3 things.
Okay. Gotta be the gas. Gotta be the gas mileage. Gotta be that efficiency. Man, that price weekly SS is kind of tough. Then again, you do have the AFM
Right.
in this model. I just personally don't use it because why would you buy a V8
Yeah.
for it to deactivate half of the cylinders and not
Right.
be a V8?
That's the thing. Like when you are at like really low speeds and low RPMs, if you have a very very raw exhaust, it sounds really crappy. Like it's because of the AFM.
Yeah.
Now you have actually mentioned that you do have something that disables AFM if you plug it into the ECU, which is phenomenal. Because honestly, like you said, you're gonna buy an American V8
Yeah.
for that. You know, like. So, you know, having the AFM is kind of like a, okay, cool, but I don't need it.
No. Right. So if you're a car enthusiast and you enjoy the Camaro and you enjoy the SS and you enjoy just having that nice car but don't really care about, performance or exhaust or anything, the AFM is a great option because it gives you that option. And whenever you're just cruising or you're just daily or whatever, you have that that fuel management option to help you out. So without it, which is why it's number one, is without that fuel management, the efficiency is not that great. So that's number one as far as dislikes. Number two would have to be the amount of space in here, because compared to my 5th gen 6, my 5th gen V6, I was able to fit 2 people back here. That's not an option in this car.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
There's no fitting 2 people in this car. Like
it's
four in total, but 2 back here.
Yeah, no, that's honestly for like insurance or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Just to say it's a 4-seater, but it's impossible. Like you've got to be at least 5'8", even 5'8", which is below average, is still too tall and too large for a car like this. And I admit, the 5th generation Camaro has always had that problem with space.
Right.
But man, the 6th gen it's like the airliners now, man. They're cutting every inch possible to make it just a little bit more uncomfortable for you to ride in.
So the last and third thing that I hate about this car, I want to say hate, but like strongly dislike, is the interior. The fact that since 2016, they haven't really refreshed the interior, instead more the exterior. It's kind of disappointing.
It's really insane because like the 5th gen actually refreshed the interior a little bit with the screen. People have their different opinions on the steering wheel, but they modernized it.
Right.
They literally left us the same thing. So I totally agree with you.
Yeah, because like the this lack of space right here, like how do you not from the recent years and since the 6th gen came out, how do you not start to maximize your interior? This infotainment system, it's really small. I think you have all of this space, not even a logo, not even like Camaro, the badge, something to make this just not,
boring. But yeah, the interior is just something that I agree, man. It just needs more.
Needs life.
Yeah, it needs more life, and it just needs something different. I mean, 8 years since 2016 all the way to 2024, nothing has changed. Literally nothing has changed. Like, I can take a picture of this and I can tell everybody, yo, brand new 2024 Camaro vibes.
And nobody would know.
Nobody would know. Nobody would freaking know. It's hilarious. As of now, you have Corsa Extremes, a catback, and it sounds incredible, bro. It really hyperbolizes that 6.2 liter V8. It sounds freaking awesome. What are some of the plans for your future mods?
Oh man, so my future mods, since I don't plan on really going too heavy on the performance, I really want to just maximize the sound. It's just probably an E85 flex fuel line, and then the some headers. I'll probably just put some headers in that.
That's gonna make it scream.
And tune it, obviously. You gotta tune it. You gotta dyno it after that. So
of course.
That's it. That's pretty much as far as future plans. Oh, in like engine wise, exterior. I plan the whole lib kit and all that stuff.
So Michael, what advice do you have for somebody that is looking into buying a 6th generation Camaro SS or 2SS?
I would for sure give the advice of explore your options as far as within the 2SS, what you can or can't add to the car. that's what I did. And I said to myself, if I was gonna look into a 2SS, I was really gonna explore options like the adrenaline red, like the type of tires, the seat belts, even anything that I could. And obviously that makes sense, you know, financial wise as well. Really try to maximize your experience with this car. That's got to be an instant seller.
I mean, how can you not get attached to a car that makes that noise, bro? Basically understanding the different options and just exploring as much as it is possible, because there's a lot to offer.
In a general aspect, you know, there's the realm of things that are priced near 2SS, and also, you know, what I would deem worth. You know, you don't have to get a 2SS per se.
Like the M's and the AMGs, they are somewhat competitors, but they're just so, like, it's so priced out for anybody that wants to get an SS, and they come with a lot more horsepower nowadays. This isn't 2010 or 2012 where they had naturally aspirated engines and it was all fairly comparable. Now they're forced induction. These are all NA unless you get the ZL1. So
yeah, I was looking at within this price. I was like, oh, a 2SS, but if I'm gonna, you know, spend this much on a 2SS, what else in that realm, you know, could I like? Would I want to go more luxury based? Would I want to go more performance based? And then I was like, you know what? Let me just stick to my guns here.
So if we time travel back to when you were deciding to buy it and you never bought this car to begin with, and you had the money, would you do it again?
Yes, because I always told myself, my car, and what I'm gonna tell my kids is, hey, this SS right here is your father's car.
You're gonna keep it?
Oh yeah.
You're gonna keep it long term?
For years, and it's gonna stay with me until the end of time. What I'm gonna do is not, you know, not necessarily get rid of it, but just, hey, if I want to, I'll buy a ZL1 amongst the other cars that I'm really into, but that's, you know, another level of...
Yeah, so basically you're not going to replace, you're going to expand the garage. Yeah, that's the dream, honestly. Every car guy wants to grow the garage, never trade it. It's really kind of funny how we can get attached to a car, but it's not so much, in my opinion, the car itself. It's the memories, the friends, I don't know, the drives that we've had. So I definitely agree with that. That's a cool. That
was something that when I was at the dealership, and like once I signed off and everything, I was like, this car is for life. Like, I'm staying with it. It's just a decision I'm making. I'm not ever getting rid of this.
Well,
for good reason.
You made a good one. Well guys, there you have it. That is the full interview of the owner of this beautiful 2023 Camaro 2SS. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video and found it informative and somewhat entertaining. Michael, thank you so much for letting me get behind the wheel again of your car. It's really great to hear your insights and your rationale behind purchasing it, and just for other people to learn more about it, because as I mentioned before, you know, it's one thing to review the car, but it's another thing to review it and own the car. So that's basically the reason why I'm making these behind the buy videos. Guys, if you enjoyed this video and found it informative and entertaining, go ahead and hit the like button. It helps out tremendously with the algorithm. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And last but not least, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future behind the buys and any of my other videos. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.
I wasn't ready for that.